Hey guys, day 8 of our 30-day challenge. And when thinking about what I want to put onto those videos, I remember that I started this channel to share ideas. And also I called it Golden Nuggets Club, or I don't know if I call it Golden Nuggets Club right now because I changed the name twice and I'm always confusing them. But whatever, the reason why I used the term Golden Nugget is because I wanted to share the most valuable lessons I've learned every single day with you. That mustn't be every single day, but that I learn over the course of my life that I feel could be beneficial to people like you that are watching this. And so right now I just had a journaling or writing session and I've come to think about a topic. So, I would never really proudly say that I've ever had an addiction. And especially with one topic that I used to be quite sensitive about when my parents talked to me back then when I was living at home, which was gaming. And I spent so many hours on gaming in my childhood and up to now. I'd say I had a break, like always. Again, the older I got, the more I wanted to break loose from it and like use that time for something else, like learning a skill or whatever. And then I had breaks where I didn't play any games at all, and they sometimes were longer, sometimes they weren't as long. My recent, like, let's say top break that I had lasted 1.5 years until I at some point returned to games. And this has led me to think about what it is that is keeping me there, because and what kind of role it plays there. And now I have come to something that is a huge topic in our today's time that I just wanted to talk about in this video, which is instant gratification and instant rewards, right? So when you play a game, for example, or when you watch porn, or in today's age when you are on social media, when you scroll through TikTok or Instagram, all those reels and stuff they are all designed to keep you there as long as possible, because this is how the companies profit. This is how the creators also profit, right? And I read this book once from Jaron Lanier. It was called, where do I have it here? It was called, something with social media. I don't know right now. Give me a sec, guys. I'll be back with you in like a few seconds. I should actually cut this. This may be the first cut ever. Okay. Maybe also not, because it's kind of funny how I just disappear. It's called 10 Arguments for Deleting Your Social Media Accounts Right Now. And what he basically does, he exposes algorithms and that are put into things like Facebook or Instagram that make you stay there, and what kind of mechanisms they use and how they constantly work on ways of keeping you guys longer there. TikTok, for example, the guy who was there, I think for marketing or something, I'm not sure, he invented the infinite scroll, where you just scroll through with no break and you never stop. It won't stop. You can scroll through it all the time and you get those hits of dopamine, of joy, because every single input is a new input that will give you joy, right? And since the algorithm is designed to also give you what you like based on your like behavior, it will create a loop of joyful things for you. But you will spend longer on there. The longer you are on it and the longer you consume the content that brings joy to you, the longer you will spend there, because the more you will need from it to give you that rush that you've initially had. And to a point where at some point you realize that you're scrolling through it and all of a sudden you feel bad for like scrolling over it all the time, or not even realizing that you've just, when you intended to take your phone into your hands for 5 minutes, spent like almost half an hour or an hour in front of like TikTok just scrolling through. So what is this thing that is keeping us there? As I said, instant gratification and the instant reward thing. And I'm now jumping onto this journey of exploring more how you can use those elements to design your life and the actions that you do in a way that you enjoy them just as much. Because for me, there's nothing bad in gaming, right? In a way. There's nothing bad in it if it brings me joy. But if it's okay to spend 10 hours in front of like the computer gaming without even having to question anything, if it's okay to spend that length of time in front of it without then like going out and forgetting to take care of yourself, forgetting to I don't know, brush your teeth, not wanting to cook because you want to play one other round. This has come to a point where you're obsessed and addicted to this, and it will harm you in the long run. And it always seemed okay to play one more round, and it was never a feeling of I'm losing time right now. So somehow the gain of reward must have been bigger than the feeling of losing time or spending time in that sense. So the reward is bigger than what's being invested in it, right? And if one were able to take those elements and put them onto those activities that are actually beneficial for oneself, that would be life-changing in a way. If, for example, I would spend that time to meditate every single day without having in my head the thought of like, but if I spend 20 minutes now, I'm losing time and blah, blah, blah. You know, because I have had those mechanisms, and maybe some of you know this. You have set yourself out to do something, and then you have this instant thought of this intuitive thought of doing something else before, but you don't do it because you feel like, but then I'm losing time on this. But then when you play again, and when you feel like that, like it's never too late or too early to play a game, or like play one more round of, let's say, League of Legends or whatever, you did it and you didn't like regret it necessarily. And maybe you did, but afterwards. So yeah, if you stick with me, you'll probably like hear more about this in the next upcoming days and weeks, I bet. And maybe this will be my very first format where I like put a little bit more into it. And also this video is quite longer than all the others. But we will see. Stick with me. You will hear interesting things every time that I learn and every day that will definitely help you. And if not, they will just add on to the choices that you can take in order to help yourself. Peace out. Love you guys.